Happy Tuesday 2027. Welcome back to your favorite class with your favorite teacher and your favorite YouTube star. We're going to start with question number 1 on the PDN. So once again, if you haven't answered it, you should probably pause your video now and answer it on your own, because giving you the answers is not going to help you get smarter. Question number 1. It says, after Mafatu drank, what did he do for his dog? The correct answer is C. My evidence is in the text. It says, the boy scooped out the gelatinous meat for Yuri, and the dog ate it gratefully. I can make the inference at that moment that Yuri is his dog, and he's taking the meat that he has and giving it to Yuri so that Yuri can eat. This is all after he drinks. So that is my correct answer. Number 2 is a much longer text. You need to read it carefully to figure out who the narrator is. The correct answer is A. The reason why I know that there are a couple of sentences you could have used as text evidence. The one that got me was it says, Anna, he said, are you mad at me? Then it says, this made me feel guilty for snapping at him. And I replied, no, I am not upset with you. So he said, Anna, are you mad at me? And then the narrator said, no, I am not upset with you. And the fact that they used the word I then tells me that Anna is the one telling the story. That was a tricky one. You had to be very careful with where those words were used, because the word Ron does come up, but she's talking about Ron. And that's why Anna is the correct answer. And last but not least, number 3. What can you infer about John? Remember, an inference takes background knowledge and the text evidence and helps us make a guess. The correct answer for that is choice D. The reason for that is because he says in 2 different sentences, so you could have used either one of these. He says, I could sing, but Jake was a much better singer. I could play the piano, but Carla would surely play her masterpiece and amaze everyone. So he's giving you 2 examples of places where he's saying, I could do this, but this person would do it better than me. So that tells me he thinks other people are better than he is, which tells me he doesn't have much self-confidence. Those are your 3 answer choices with your evidence backed up. Remember, you need to make sure you know why it's the right answer. Just picking it, even when you're online, and I know how easy it can be just to pick an answer, even when you're online, you have to know why this answer is correct. Otherwise, we're not going to get those answers right on questions like that in the future. So make sure you're there. Let's go ahead and move on. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to flip the camera around. We're going to go through a couple examples of a self-edit, and we are going to then edit our own plans to make sure they're ready to go for our final draft at the end of this week. So I'm going to go ahead and flip this around. I'm going to make sure that it is, there we go. So this is an example of an essay that I started to write about the same 3 people that you read about. So I'm going to go ahead and start from the top, and then I'm going to see what I needed to do for paragraph number 1. It says, one similarity between Ruth Bader Ginsburg and Susan B. Anthony is that they both changed people's opinions about what women could do. According to the text, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, the author says that Ginsburg was an excellent female lawyer, and there weren't many female lawyers at the time. Also, according to the text, Susan B. Anthony, the author says Anthony fought for women's rights. This tells me that both Susan B. Anthony and Elizabeth Cady Stanton changed opinions. Hopefully at some point while you were reading, you picked out on a couple of errors that I might have made. Let's go down to the questions at the bottom. Question number 1. Did the writer have a claim that explains the similar impact between the 2 texts? My claim says one similarity between Ruth Bader Ginsburg and Susan B. Anthony is that they both changed people's opinions about what women could do. That, to me, sounds like it's a great claim. So I'd go over to my box right here that says yes, and I could write a Y. I could write yes. I don't know how to do check marks. If you really wanted to do a check mark, you could find a way to do a check mark on the document. Those are your options to do it. Let's go ahead and take a look at question number 2. Did the writer give 2 pieces of text evidence to support the similarities, one from each text? My first text evidence says, according to the text, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, the author says that Ginsburg was an excellent female lawyer, and there weren't many female lawyers at the time. I'm going to pause because right here I noticed there are no quotation marks. And when I don't see quotation marks and I hear words that don't sound like they're from the text, that tells me that somebody made up the evidence. Boo! You stink. Go home. You don't make up evidence. You get evidence from the text. That's why the text is there, Mr. Townsend. So no, that's terrible evidence. It's not even from the text. And look at this. Also, according to the text Susan B. Anthony, the author says Anthony fought for women's rights. Boo! You stink! Go home! Where's the text evidence, man? That's not a CER response. That's just you telling me what you think the author says. Tell me what the author says. So I'd go over here where it says no. You can write N. You can write no. Or if you want to do a fancy check mark, you could do a fancy check mark, but I don't know how to do it. And last but not least, my reason. Do I give a reason for both pieces of evidence, lives, laws, or opinions, with the word because? This tells me that both Susan B. Anthony and Elizabeth Cady Stanton changed opinions. If you did not realize that I didn't talk about Elizabeth Cady Stanton, you are going crazy right now. This quarantine has got you going insane. Look at this. In my claim, I talk about Ruth Bader Ginsburg and Susan B. Anthony. Yes, I did spell Anthony wrong there. That's why I need to make sure I edit my work. But then down here in my reason, I'm talking about Susan B. Anthony and Elizabeth Cady Stanton. How in the world... Oh, Mr. DeLorme's texting me. How in the world are you going to tell me that you're going to start your claim talking about two women, and then by the time you get to your reason, you're talking about two different women? That doesn't make any sense. Come on. So I'd go over here, and I would write N or no or check mark, your choice. Then we're going to scroll down. Paragraph number 2. I've been working on my singing skills. Getting ready to back up Beyonce soon. Paragraph number 2. It says Malala Yousafzai and Ruth Bader Ginsburg have a different impact because one changed the lives of women while the other changed the laws for women. That makes sense. Malala changed women's lives by fighting for the right for an education, but Ruth Bader Ginsburg fought to change laws because she was a lawyer, so she fought for women's rights. So I'd give myself a yes. Keep going. Look at this, look at this. Look at this. Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. This tells me that Malala changed lives because she provided an opportunity for women to get an education which helped them get better jobs in the future. That sounds like a good sentence. This also tells me that Ginsburg changed laws for women because as a lawyer, she fought to get equal rights in the workplace. Both of those sound great. However, neither one of those is text evidence. Those are both what? Hopefully you just shouted out reasons when I paused, because those are both reasons. None of those are text evidence. So I got to go over here to my text evidence box. I got to click N or no. For my reason, I can say yes. I can even put a little exclamation point. Those are two amazing reasons. Those are two of the best reasons I've ever written. So those are definitely good, but I don't have evidence, so I would not get full credit on this. Now, if you keep going. 3 rules for peer editing. Read me rule number 1, please, Eli. Read me rule number 2, please, Trinity. And read me rule number 3, please, Makai. Good. Hopefully you heard Eli say, no one's essay is perfect. Everyone's going to make mistakes. We are here to help our teammates write the best possible essay. Hopefully you heard Trinity say, we are not going to write on the essay. We only fill in the rubric. And hopefully you heard Makai say, if the reader says you are missing something that you feel you have, try to improve it so the reader can find it easier. Guess what, guys? You are the reader today. So you can't get mad at anyone for giving you a bad score because you're peer editing yourself. It's a self-edit. So this is what you're going to do. You are going to go down here, type your name up top, and then you're going to give yourself yeses or nos. Now, yeah, you could go through and just give yourself all yeses and tell me you did a great job. But then when I go to read your final draft and it stinks, I'm going to know that you lied on the self-edit. You have to be honest with yourself. If you didn't do something, you got to give yourself a no and you got to fix it for your final draft. If you did it, you got to give yourself a yes. If you think you can do it better, you give yourself a no. The better you are at doing a self-edit, the higher your grade on your final draft will be. Saying yes to everything does not mean you're going to get a good score in your final draft. You gotta be honest with yourself. Capiche? Caposh. Thanks, Jeffrey. Go through similarity 1, difference paragraph, and then grammar, quotation marks, capitalization. This is super tough. Ooh. Whoa. Earthquake. Just kidding. This is super tough, guys, because you need to make sure on the computer you still have quotation marks and capitalization and punctuation. Some of you are forgetting to do that, and it's making you look like you're not great writers when I know you are. So you need to fix that and make sure you're doing correct capitalization and punctuation. And then that's all you got for today. So complete that self-edit and all that work, and then you are good to go. Hope you have a good Tuesday. We miss you, and we'll see you soon. Do the best job you can to boost your grade. Bye.